This is my guide to the Restless Assault Mission, or walkthrough or overview. I'm doing it in a pickup group. Just some people were looking for some help, and I volunteered. I know you just. He is Berserker in my guild. He's elite. I'm a raid geared shaman. The others may have some raid gear. They may be group gear. I don't know. But they're all very skilled players. You get the mission in Great Divide, and then you zone in and you say starts to get it going. And you find the first mob. This is not a mission where you need to be super high DPS. Um, it's more just follow the emotes and rules for each mission. High DPS will help in getting rid of the dire wolves that spawn. We usually attack the there's all these mobs come with an ad, a restless dire wolf. We usually kill that first, so they don't add up. Because if you kill the name first, the next name may spawn right away, and it just becomes a problem. The only real difficulty in this mission is going to be the final boss, Narandi. Um, Grondo the Huntmaster can also be an issue for some groups if they don't have good crowd control, or their DPS is very low. All of these mobs can be mezzed or rooted or otherwise controlled, but you're going to want to be able to kill the ads as quickly as you can. Now I've got my new combination spells from COV, so I wanted to try them a little bit, but I really don't DPS too much on this particular mission. I just am very casual, do what I need to do. Now I'm running with my raid setup right now. If I was in a true pickup group where maybe people are under geared, um, and I don't find that the case here. Everybody is pretty well geared, doing a good job. But if the damage to the players was much higher, I might alter my setup, bring in twin wintry gift, twin cast heals. I could do some things to up my healing rate. I think the average DPS for this group throughout the entire mission was around 650,000. That's just sustained, nothing super high. And we're not burning any of these mobs in the beginning. I see no reason to burn here. The mobs that we do burn tend to be. Sometimes people will do like a mini burn on Mandakai because he has those rhinos, and if you're having problems with the rhinos, they can be a pain, and you just want to get rid of them quickly. Where I usually do my burn is the Hunt Master because I want to minimize his ads. Narandi, you can burn him when you get to the final mob, but basically that's controlled DPS, and you don't want to be burning on the final mob. I'm just going to give a little advice as you go through the mission. Otherwise, this is how the mission goes. You'll see how it is. Obviously, I mentioned earlier it helps to have a tracker to find, especially the dire wolves and the other mobs. You can find them without, and especially you can get a sense of where they pop up for the most part. But it does help. Sense Dead also can work. Another thing about this mission is if you just want to grind in it for some reason, there are a lot of mobs in the mission that you won't deal with or even see normally. Worms and Tismek. And so you can, before you even start the mission up, you can go out and just spend as much time as you want grinding mobs here without having to worry about anybody being around. It's the one mission you can do that on. I also think this is the one mission, and I don't know that for sure, but I believe that Lesson works on this mission. Lesson of the Devoted. I think this is the one heroic mission in this expansion where Lesson of the Devoted can make a difference. So on this one, all of these restless crystals are rooted, and you just can deal with them one at a time. So here's where you want to run around and kill whatever dire wolves you can find that are attacking civilians. This will help you get the one of the achievements, the one where no Coldane civilian get killed. And once you've killed a few of these restless dire wolves, the next named will spawn. Yeah, we have two berserkers in this group, one of whom is raid gear and the other is group gear, but perhaps not the best group gear. He's still, he's fairly new, and he's going to have low AAs. I've never grouped with any of these people before except for you, Just, who I raid with. But they are all, like I said, sharp, experienced. You just get in and you do the mission. as I said, all of these mobs are very straightforward. The one at the end, Narandi, that's the difficult one. That's the one that's gonna make you hate this mission or feel incredibly skilled. You, it's not an easy mission to fail because even if you totally mess up with Narandi and all of your entire group wipes, you can just zone back in and start it up again, and you'll do fine. I would suggest if you're going to pull Narandi, don't pull him to where you zone in. Don't pull him to where your camp is set, because he will immediately aggro on you if you are, zoning right back into the mess. Ideally, you'll zone in a little bit of ways from him, and then you can drag corpses if necessary. Now, if you do this right, you're just not going to have corpses. This Mandakai is one where you might want to do a mini burn just to kill him quickly so you don't have to deal with his rhinoceros pets. The rhinoceros pets, you can't kill them, you can't attack them, and they can do a lot of damage when they show up. You can see them in the distance, but these circles will appear. These colored, there they are. Okay, and so those colored circles will generally be where the rhinos go to. And so you don't want to be in the color circles. All you do is you just back up. See how he's going to come up here? You just back up. You can pull the mob away from the colored circle, so he's not standing in that colored circle. Now, this guy's supposed to have some mechanics where he'll name a certain player, and that player has to take aggro, or he's going to death touch a Coldane civilian, which will deprive you of the achievement for that. I have not seen that too often. And it may just be that we generally kill him pretty quickly. Now you'll see, if you look at my mana as a shaman, you can see how these dots just drain it down. This is the raid, this would be like for burning a named or something. I have a different setup that for dots that is a little less mana hungry. And I'm staying on my carpet like a boss here rather than engaging in meleeing, which is what I should be doing. This is just very casual. I'm not working that hard at it. Here we have Huntmaster Grondo. Again, this is a guy where I would think about using your burns because you're not going to need to burn down Narandi. In fact, you're going to want to really control your DPS. But this guy, you can get a lot of ads, and if that's a problem for you, then burning him down is just going to make that easy. And you can see I'm down to 12.5% mana, so I'm going to have to canny up. I will probably switch from doing a lot of dotting right now to try and get my mana back up. This is, you can see we've got 5 of these ads, and we burned him down really quick. Or, well, we killed him real quick. I didn't even burn myself. And if you need to, you can mez these, you can root them, you can boot them out of the area. You can take these one at a time, however you need to do that. So now it's the final mob, and yeah, as I said, this is the one that's tough. There's a lot of different techniques to do that. Typically, I would tell everybody to turn off, just stop their DPS, let the tank handle it. And if you just need to add a little DPS, you want to DPS the first mob down to 75% or so, and you're going to see some text that says a pool of water forms at his feet. Something like that. I put it in the text. And that text will come at 75%, 50%, and 25% health. So if you tank one down to 75%, you're going to see one, you're going to see a blue ring in its feet, and two, you're going to get that text. If you don't get the text and you don't get the blue ring, burn the mob down. And if you've got the right guy, then Narandi will pop back up and the other clones will vanish. If you continue to DPS a mob down at the 75%, you're going to get that text again at 50%, and it's kind of a false positive. It can confuse you. But you're still looking at that ring, and those rings can vanish at a certain point. Especially if you die and come back, you're not going to re-get the rings. There's a lot of tricks you can do. You can put the false mob on the bottom of your extended target thing just to remember him, and then you go to the next one. There's only 4 of them. It's usually not if you're good at it, you're good at it. You just make sure everybody in the group knows to back the F off when the tank switches mobs. You don't want to continue to DPS the wrong Narandi. If you kill the wrong Narandi, then somebody in the group is going to get death touched, perhaps even more than one, and a restless hero is going to spawn, and he's going to be a white mob, and he's going to actually be tougher than the fake mobs that you've been fighting, and you're going to have to deal with him. And if you get death touched multiple times, you get multiple of those mobs up. Now, the good thing is, even if you completely mess up and everybody in the group dies, you can come back and crowd control and just, recover. You're not going to lose the mission itself. That blue circle under their feet is going to appear. I usually appear around 70%, 75%. Might be, if you get down to 65% and there's no blue circle, just burn it down. You've got the right guy. You probably want to change your camera view to make it easier to see those circles. I hit F9. You hit that 4 times. It's going to put you in first-person view so you can see what's going on. People will pull them down into the ice. Some people swear by that. They say that's much easier to see. Other people will like to pull them up on a kind of a hill, and they say that the circle will stick out a little bit. I don't worry too much about it. It seems like I can see the blue circle most of the time. And when they split, if you have an SK, you can hit an AE, like AE Hate, one of your AE abilities, or your Contempt line of spells if you're a Shadow Knight. And that sometimes will spread them out a little bit. But if you're looking right there, you're going to see a blue circle at the foot of one mob. So now we've switched to the next Narandi, and we're not DPSing the false Narandi. We got the blue circle, so we switched to the next Narandi. And we got 3 blue circles. We switched to the final 4th mob, and this one we're going to burn down. And these blue circles can blend, so if you get confused. But now, we took down the right one. We get the Narandi up. DPS him. This is not a DPS check or a DPS test. This is really more of controlling your DPS. And, you're going to get 3 of these splits, and then when you get the final mob, you just burn them down. I've been told that if you do get a death touch and you spawn your Restless Hero, there's a ground spawn that you can pick up and click to auto kill one of the fakes. I've never seen that, and we don't get the death touches often anymore because we've done this a few times. And now in this one, we just run to the mob, but another way is to just stay put and send out your puller to bring the mobs back to you. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. So we kill the right one, we get the real Narandi again. And we just burn him down. And that's the mission. So we run back to the chest. And the task is not locked at this point, so you can drop 5 people and bring in 5 other people if you want, and you give them credit for the mission, and they'll get the currency, etc. They zone in. I think you need to zone in to get the currency. I'm not sure. And you open the chest, and you're done. And that's the mission. I'll talk to you guys later. Good luck. Bye.